First of all, I would like to thank God for giving me this privilege and this life. And secondly, I would like to thank our director, sir, our CEO, ma'am, and Daniel, sir, and ma'am, and also Naomi for giving me this privilege to stand before you all. May the good God continue to bless you in the days to come also. I'm very much honored and humbled to stand before all of you to share the words of God. Especially today is a Mother's Day, and today I'm really much happy because it's a very special day, and I'm the one who's going to share the God's words from this auspicious day. That's why I feel privileged. One morning, I was wake up by a voice of crying. I get down from my bed, and I went directly to the place where the voice was coming. I did not say any words. I just sat down at the corner of the room. There I saw my mom crying and yelling to my dad. I listened to my mom say it. She said, while our children were very young, you, that is referring to my dad, you were a very sickly person. So in order to earn for our living, our daily meal, I carry our son on my back and I earn for living. I went to the market, I went to the field. That's what she said to my dad. At one point of time, my mom said, I tried to jump into the water and die myself. But thinking for my children, I could not do it. I came out from the room. Tears rolled down from my eyes. I did not say any words. Some of our mothers in this room will have the same situation like my mom has. Dear mothers, I want to say that you are an amazing. You have a courage, and your sacrifice for your family will not go in vain. That's why we are going to listen today. So, in order to show our thankfulness, I would like to request all the fathers and the children to raise up from your feet. All the fathers and all the children. All the fathers and children to raise up from your feet. Yes, children's and father. Children and fathers. Okay, children and father. Okay, see, we cannot say thank you often. It's very difficult to say thank you to the mothers or to your wife. But today, let's take a privilege to say thank you to your wife or to your moms. So let's say thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, and let's give a round of applause for the mothers. Thank you, please be seated. Thank you so much. Let's look to God in prayer. Loving God, I stand before you and before your people. Touch my tongue and touch my heart and shake my spirit so that, Lord, I may be able to share your words according to your will and open the hearts and the minds of this congregation, Lord, so that, Lord, they may be able to hear you and they may be able to see you, Lord. I commit my life and the rest of our time into loving care. In Jesus' most precious name we do ask and pray. Amen. Today I would like to share on the topic of courageous mother. Courageous mother. Jochebed, the mother the 21st century needs. It is taken from Exodus chapter 2, verses 1 to 10. Exodus chapter 2, verses 1 to 10. Let me read out for all of us. I will be reading from NRSV version. Now a man from the house of Levi went and married a Levite woman. The woman conceived and bore a son, And when she saw that he was a fine baby, she hid him 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and plastered it with bitumen and pitch. She put the child in it and placed it among the reeds on the bank of the river. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him. The daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, while her attendants walked beside the river. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her maid to bring it. When she opened it, she saw the child. He was crying, and she took pity on him. "This must be one of the Hebrew children," she said. Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get you a nurse from the Hebrew woman to nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Yes." So the girl went and called the child's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child and nurse it for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed it. When the child grew up, she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and she took him as her son. She named him Moses, because she said, "I drew it out of the water." Mother's Day was started by or established by Anna Jarvis. Why she started this Mother's Day was because her mother, Anne Jarvis, she was started a mission or the organization that is Mother's Friendship Day. Why she established this one is because during the American Civil War, the family were divided because of the war. So in order to unite, this Anne Jarvis, she organized or she called all the mothers to have a fellowship or to start the good works or to unite. And she want to extend this mission or organization into the better way, but she passed away in 1905. So her daughter, Anna Jarvis, she don't want to lose the legacy of her mother. That's why now, after the death of her mother, now she established this Mother's Day in order to remember the works that was done by her mother. That's how we celebrated this Mother's Day. So here, let's go to the text. In Exodus chapter 2, we found that these Israelites, especially Jochebed and Amram, the mother of Moses and the father of Moses, they were facing a problems. They were in the slavery. So here, why they were slavery was because Joseph, who was a Jew, he became a president in this Egyptian. When the famine broke out, Joseph bring his family into the Egypt. So they stayed there. But after the death of Joseph, there rose a new king who did not know who Joseph was. So when this new king saw the people of Israelites that they were numerous, they were increasing in number, he said to his people, "Come, let us deal cruelly, or let's oppress them. Otherwise, they will increase in number, and at the end, they will war against us, and they will defeat us, and they will rule us." That was the evil thought of this king of new Egyptian king have. That is why they put a slave master to control the population of these Israelites. But the more they are oppressed, the more they become numerous and they spread out. That was the situation this Jochebed and Amram have. Now, let's see the first point, verses 1 to 3a. Here we find courageous mother is a godly mother. courageous mother is a godly mother. In verses 1 to 3, here we learn that Joseph and Amram, they are godly parents. Joseph must be a prayerful woman. Why? Because she has a faith, unsinkable faith. We may be wondering why during this situation, the critical situation, how they are married. How this Amram and Joseph got married during this situation. What is their thought? We may be wondering. And if it was you, you may not get married. Why? Because you may not want to face the situation. You may not want your children to be in the same position as you. But Josephette, the mother of Moses, she was a prayerful woman. She had a faith that one day my children will become a leader. One day my children will become a leader, and they will release the Israelites from the slavery. That's what she has in mind. And at one point of time, before she conceived Moses, God may talk to her also. God may talk to this Josephette, I will give you a son. There is Moses, and he will release the people from the slavery. How can she have a communication with God like that? Or how can she know that this Moses was a godly child? It's because of a godly mother. It's because of prayer only. When you pray, dear mothers, when you pray for your children, for your mothers, God listens to your prayers. God listens to your cry. Like I shared from the beginning, my mother was crying. My mother was crying a lot. But God listened to her prayers. I don't mean that we give our mother a good life, not like that. But at least now she raised up like this. Now I'm able to stand before you and share the holy words. That's our happiness. And in my village, I'm the first person who is completing master degree in theological studies. My parents were so proud. I don't mean that I'm a good person, but they are so proud. That's the prayer that my mother prayed. That's the tear that my mother said before. Likewise, Josephette also, she was praying for her children. She has 3 children by now. That is Aaron, Miriam, and Moses. How can she have these 3 children in the times of troubles? She believed God. She had faith in God. That is the reason why she raised 3 children to be a leader of Israelites. When we read the story of this Exodus, you will see how they become a leader. And in verses 3b to 8, we find courageous woman is a visionary mother. Courageous woman is a visionary. Joseph's mother shows that her son will become a leader one day. She shows Moses as a godly child. She said that this Moses is given by God as a gift. She saw a vision. And now, by this time, Moses was 3 months old. And now, they could not hide anymore. Why? Because Pharaoh says that every male child that was born in this Israelites has to be put to death. They have to throw this baby boy into the Nile water or Nile river. But this Josephette, she was so courageous. And likewise, like I say, she was a prayerful woman. That's why she could hide that Moses for 3 months. But now 3 months has passed. She could not hide anymore. That's why she saw a vision that if I put this child into the basket and put into the water or the river, and somebody will come and save him. That's what she has the vision. So now she took the papyrus basket, pieced it, and now she put the baby on it, and now she put the baby on the river, the Nile River. And also one good thing was, or one clever thing that she made was, she asked her daughter Miriam to watch what happened to this baby boy. Now the Pharaoh daughter came to the Nile River to take bath along with her servants. She found out the baby, and she saw that the baby was very fine boy. She know that this baby belongs to the Hebrew, because her father made an issue or made a rules that every Hebrew child will be thrown into the Nile River. She has that idea, and she clearly know that that baby boy belongs to Hebrew. But how can she save this baby boy? How can she save this Moses? It's because of the prayer of her mother, Moses' mother, the baby mother. One day, one pastor, there was a frisking. So one pastor said that at night time she traveled in his car, and there was a one underground beside him carrying. He said that he was so afraid because police were doing frisking. So he was so afraid. He said, but I pray to God. He said, okay, while driving, he said, I pray to God. So they came near to the police, and they were checking, and they released them without saying anything. Now he said that I think the police saw this man as a beautiful woman. Maybe God let them see this man, underground man, as a beautiful woman. That's why they released me without saying anything. That's what prayer can do. That's what prayer can change people. That's what prayer can change the eyes of your enemies. Same thing with this Elizabeth. Hebrew son Moses was loved by the princess because of her mother, because of Moses, his mother, because of Moses' mother. And now, the vision that this Elizabeth mother has was wonderful. She, like I said before, she allowed her daughter to look at somebody will come, and somebody will come and save this son. It happened. The courage that he has give the vision. How can she raise this Miriam, the daughter, as a very courageous and very wise daughter by her mother? How can she do that? How can the 10-year-old daughter is become very intelligent or very courageous? How can she do that? It's because of her mother only. Her mother taught her the wisdom. Her mother taught her the prayer. Her mother taught her the faith that they have in God. That's the reason why she could be able to put this Miriam in that difficult situation and allow her to watch the baby boy. Dear parents, especially mothers, how often do you see your children as a special gift from God? Do you see the vision that your children will become one day a great son or daughters because they have a purpose in their life as given by God? How often do you Do you see your children will become great someday? Or do you just have your children live because many people does? Sometimes the gift from God we take as a granted. We do not recognize as a gift from God. But Jochebed, she recognized that every child is a gift from God, and every child has a purpose. That is why she was doing whatever she can do to save the baby boy. We have a difficult situation like this Jochebed. You cannot save your children in this corrupted world. Dear mothers, let me tell you, if you do not train your children, if you do not instill the faith of God to your children by now, you won't be able to save your children in the days to come. So how will you put that faith in your children? How will you do that? By the words of God. Of course, you cannot pass down your faith to your children, but you can create an environment of faith. You can create a godly home, and they will learn from you. They will learn your footsteps. The children nowadays, they don't want to listen to their parents. They are observing. They are observing you. Whatever you do, your children will do. So now Jochebed and her husband around, it says they are godly parents. They put this faith in their children. That is why she is able to save 3 children in that difficult situation. Okay, let's go to the verses 9 and 10. Verses 9 and 10. Courageous woman is filled with wisdom. Courageous mother is filled with wisdom. How can we know that? See, with the help of Mariam, the baby mother was cold. And now, princess says that, take this child to you. Don't come to my palace, but take it to your home and raise for me. And when he is 3 years old, just bring back to me. That's what this Pharaoh's daughter said to Mariam. Now, at home, what will she teach? Moses was three months old, and now she has to raise till age of 3. Now, during this age, what will this mother teach him, teach Moses? What will she teach? The Bible did not mention anything about how she raised this Moses, but many scholars say that she raised in a godly manner. She always say to Moses to remember the God of Yahweh. She always say to Moses to help his people who are in slavery. She instilled that wisdom into the mind of this baby boy while she was very young. And because of her wisdom, she can raise her son at her home. So when somebody asks, why are you raising this son? Don't you know that the rules and regulations do not permit? She will say that this is the son of princess. I got an authority from princess. That's the wisdom that she has. And she was boldly raising her son without fearing anybody else. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6, it says, train up a child in the way he or she should go. And when he or she become old, they will not depart from it. That's what the wisest man said in Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. And we also have in our school motto here. Why can we, or why they are saying like that? Why the wise men say like that? Because 3 years, under 3 years, many children and majority of the children, they learn whatever they are going to do in the days to come after 3 years. So 3 years is very much important for the children and their mothers and parents. You have to be wise enough to save your children in this materialistic world or in this digital age. Like I said before, you will not be able to save your children in this generation unless you have a wisdom from God. If you do not give wisdom, or if you do not teach your children the words of God by now, do you think that you will be able to teach them once they cross 4 years, 5 years, 6 years? Or do you think that 3 years is too young for children to learn? It's not like that. Under 3 years is very much important for the children. And the Bible says that Moses was not willing to put aside the spiritual base built by his royal mother. That's why we found in the Bible. Whatever Moses' mother said to him during these 3 years, now he instilled in his mind, in his heart, now he is not able to depart from it. He is not willing to abandon his faith that was given by his mother. That is the reason why Moses was refused to be a prince, to be a rich, to be a Egyptian king. He refused it. That's what people striving for nowadays. People striving for richness. People striving for great. People striving for the king. But Moses refused it. Why he refused it? If I were you and me, if I were him, or if you were Moses, what will you do? Somebody will give you 1 crore to abandon your faith. You will leave it, right? I will leave it. And I will take that 1 crore and enjoy. And I will say that after I spend this 1 crore, I will come back to my faith. That's what you will say. That's what I will say. But Moses refused it. Moses refused to be in the big house, the palace. Moses refused to become rich. And he chose suffering. He chose Yahweh. He chose his people to be saved from slavery. Dear mothers, you may face lots of problems and you may feel discouraged. Why? Because you may think that you are not able to give your children, or you are not able to raise your children like the rich people do. I encourage you, don't feel discouraged. Be courageous like this Josephette, and be a prayerful woman, and have the vision that your children will become one day a successful people, and fill with the wisdom to instill the wisdom into your children, so that whenever they go, or when they grown up, they will not depart from it. Don't focus on your problems. Sometimes we human beings focus too much on our problems. That's why we forget the blessing of God. That's why we forget the strength, and that's why we forget the ability of God. Focus on God. Let's focus on God, and everything will be fine. That's what Joseph did. May the good Lord bless us all, especially mothers, so that you may be a courageous mother who has a vision, who has a wisdom, who has a godly mother. God bless you. Thank you.